Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Be Quranic. Today is Thursday, so that means it's time for Tafseer Thursday. We're going to look into the meaning and extract practical lessons from the ayat that we have been reciting. So today we're going to look into ayah 75 until ayah 87, inshallah. These are powerful chapters, powerful passages within Surah Al-Waqi'ah. So Allah begins by taking an oath. So this ayah, from ayah 75, Allah says, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ. Allah takes an oath by the constellation of the stars. Allah says, I take an oath. فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ, with the constellation of the stars. وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ. Indeed, this is a great oath, if only you know. إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ فِي كِتَابٍ مَكْنُونٍ. It is the most generous Qur'an, most honorable Qur'an. فِي كِتَابٍ مَكْنُونٍ. It is in a protected book. Now Allah is taking an oath here by the constellation of the stars and saying that this oath is related to the Qur'an. Now Allah takes a few oaths in the Quran by great things that He has created. Wal Fajr, blessed time of the morning. Allah takes an oath, Wal Fajr. Wal Duha, that mid-morning time. Wal Layl, the night time. Wal Asr, by time. So there are many oaths that Allah takes, and those oaths will be related to the message that will come after it. With regards to this oath, وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ. This is the only one that Allah mentioned. This is a great oath, if only you understand. The rest of the oath, it is great, but Allah does not put the emphasis that it is a great oath. But with this constellation of the stars, Allah said that this is a great oath, if only you understand. And Allah then linked it to the Quran. What is the link between the constellation of the stars and the Quran? And it's amazing. I find it's apt that I'm doing the tafsir of this ayat, constellation of the stars, out in nature. Beautiful stars. Unfortunately, the camera can't capture me and the stars together, but I'll show the stars probably later on, inshallah, what I capture from here. But there is a significant relationship between the Quran and the constellation of the stars, if only we knew. Now, when you look at the constellation of the stars at night, especially when you are a bit far away from cities, from artificial lights, so you don't see light pollution, you'll be amazed by how beautiful the stars are. It's just amazing. There's just so many stars up there. In fact, from a purely physics point of view, there are more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand on Earth. And what we see, it's just amazing. It's just full of stars. And it's an amazing show that Allah puts up every single night for us. It looks messy. This one is brighter than this one. This one is next to this. You can't make which is heads, which is tails. It looks confusing, but it is a beautiful mess. You can be drowned in its beauty, just looking at it, mesmerized, not understanding anything, just amazed by its beauty. And the Quran, but there's another layer. If you learn about stars, you dig a little deeper, you dig a little deeper, and you get to see that those stars are telling you your position. Those stars are your guide. So you need to dig a little deeper. If you don't dig, you get to enjoy the beautiful show. You dig, you get to enjoy the show, but you also are guided by it. And Arabs in the desert, they travel. If you've been to the desert do not have any permanent landmarks. The mountain that you see is actually a sand dune, get blown by the wind, and tomorrow it's somewhere else. The next day it's flat. So you cannot have landmarks based on sand dunes, based on shape of the earth and so on. You need the stars. So Arabs, they generally travel at night because in the day it's very hot. So they travel at night and they are guided by the stars. Even sheep, when they sail in the sea, they are guided by the stars traditionally. Pilots flying, they've got all the modern gadgets today, but some of the older pilots will tell you that yes, they still learn how to navigate by star in case all the instruments fail. So those stars are there to guide you, but you need to learn. You need to put a little bit of effort. If you're down here in Australia, you need to know which one is the Orion Belt. You know your Southern Cross, how you know your Southern Cross, and from your Southern Cross you see the two markers. You can find your celestial south, and then you can find your pole south, your South Pole, and you can navigate your way around by just using the stars. But again, you need to put in some effort. You need to learn. That's the Quran. The Quran. Now Allah says that إِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ. It is the Quran. If you look at the Quran is beautiful. The rhyme, the way it's the sentence structure, the tajweed. It's beautiful reading. You hear someone reading Quran with the right tajweed, you get mesmerized. You can just listen to it for hours and hours. It's beautiful. Especially you get a good qari, like Abdul Basit, Abdul Samad, or even Minshawi, or more contemporary Afasi, and so on. You just listen to it and you're just mesmerized by the beautiful rhyme structure of the Quran. But it can get a bit messy. So when you start reading the translation, you see the beginning of the Quran. It starts with Surah Al-Fatiha. All right, that kind of like the beginning of the surah is the opening. All right, fine. And then the next one is the cow, Al-Baqarah. And the story of the cow is not about the cow. The surah of the cow is not about the cow. It talks about the different groups of people, the people of taqwa, the kafir, the hypocrites, and then the creation of Adam, and then the Israelites. And then within the Israelites, a few ayats talk about the cow, and then it goes to Prophet Ibrahim, and then goes to the change of the Kaaba. It's everything everywhere. You find Prophet Adam here in Surah Al-Baqarah, and a little bit of Ali Imran, and a little bit of Al-A'raf here and there, everywhere. It's a beautiful mess. But when you dig a little deeper, then you find the beautiful structure of the Quran. You find guidance through the Quran. You see that there is a very cohesive structure within the Quran. What we saw initially as a mess is actually a beautiful structure that shows you the miraculous nature of the Quran. You need to dig a little deeper. You need to put in some effort. You need to work to understand the Quran. The Quran is not a book for lazy people. And this is